Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 65 of the Run in the Paint podcast. I'm Miles. I'm here with Joey, Jackson, and Ben. Guys, how are you doing today?
Doing
Doing well.
great, just great.
I'm
No,
in a mood.
Jackson,
Jackson.
I'm in a mood.
How are you doing?
Just had to talk to a bunch of casuals for a bit.
Jeez, his first time back on in forever and calls us casuals. Look at this guy.
And they made me take off my sunglasses.
You're inside. Relax.
Bright in here, man. It's bright.
It has been
Bright.
it has been bright around here the last few days. It's been so hot, right in the middle of summer.
I
And
got my
the Olympics have been going on. That's all anyone can really talk about in the sports world. So let's
nope.
go ahead and talk a little bit about the Olympics first. With Team USA, I guess they have played a couple of games so far, Serbia and South Sudan. What are your guys' thoughts on Team USA so far, Jackson? We'll start with you. Who have you been most impressed with on Team USA so far?
Well, the obvious answer is Kevin Durant. Because he came back from injury and nobody was expecting him to kind of come back and be pretty much lights out in that first game. And in the second game, it was more free throws, but he still put up 14 points, which that's not terrible. But and then also Bam Adebayo. We were talking about it before. I think in the last game he really showed why he deserves to be on this team. He was showing his whole skill set and then how he's been kind of working on his skill set with hitting threes, and he's shown that he's still a defensive beast. And I've been really impressed with him so far.
He definitely deserves to be there over Embiid, in my opinion. He played a great game against South Sudan.
Send Embiid back to France. He's in France.
Yeah, I was about to say they're literally hosting it. But I agree. Bam and Kevin Durant are probably my two answers because they've been the two standouts. They really have. We know everyone else is doing. Derek White's been shooting has been shooting exactly the way we thought he would coming into this team. But KD coming off the injury and then Bam taking the role of Embiid was phenomenal.
Ben, for you, are there any players that you have been super impressed with so far besides the one we've already talked about?
Well, I gotta say, I gotta give LeBron James because he's older now, of course, but man, he just even in the Olympics, he just continues to really impress me with how old he even is now. He's been awesome too in the Olympics. He's been one of the top players of Team USA because of his great scoring at times and being able to do other basketball stuff really well. Being a great leader for that team and and taking over. At times for that team too, like down the stretch of Germany in the exhibition game. Man, he just looked unstoppable then.
Yeah, LeBron's been unbelievable. Like we've had a conversation a couple episodes ago, and even before this podcast, comparing the different Olympic teams to each other. And this current team is very, very good. It's stacked, of course. There are a ton of great players. It's really fun because it kind of blends a bunch of different eras together. But with all this talent, the fact that LeBron James at 39 years old is still clearly the best player, it's really remarkable. We say it and it does get old saying it kind of like, "Oh my gosh, LeBron entering year number 22." But it's because he's been so impressive.
Yeah, I have a couple more that because I just been kind of thinking about who's been playing well. I think Anthony Davis has been really good. The first game against oh my gosh, I'm blanking. Oh, Serbia. He Jokic didn't have the greatest game ever. He still had a good game, obviously, because he's Jokic. But AD was a big part of kind of slowing him down to make it easier for them to beat down on the rest of Serbia, because Jokic doesn't really have any help. I saw like it was tied 81-81 when he was on the floor, and then it was like a 26-point swing when he was off for like the 9 minutes or whatever. And then
It's like that's like how it is in the NBA too, though. Really, like how it was this past NBA season. Like I've seen the Nuggets up by like 10. They take out Jokic and then they're down 10 when the time they put them back in.
yeah, it's more
Yeah,
fair.
about the same thing.
And then another guy, Devin Booker, has been really, really good. I think he's arguably been one of, if not their best perimeter defenders, at least when I've been watching. He's been fantastic, getting steals, playing really good defense. And he's doing what he needs to. He's been a fantastic spot up 3-point shooter so far for Team USA. And again, we mentioned Derek White, but I think he's showing why he's the best shot blocking guard in the league too. He's had some amazing blocks so far.
Absolutely. I think well, next I'm curious to hear what you guys think about of course this team being so stacked and talented with so many great players. Obviously, in each games are now 40 minutes. It's 8 minutes shorter than a normal NBA game. You can't play all your players, and some players have been subject to not getting in. And in the Serbia game, it was Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton, and in the South Sudan game, it was Joel Embiid. And in both games afterwards, I saw the fans, obviously, of those teams, those NBA teams, just be like, "Oh my gosh, Steve Kerr's an idiot. How's he not playing these players?" But it's kind of difficult. I mean, you're trying to find the right mix, but I mean, Steve Kerr even said it after the first game, like he felt like an idiot not playing Jason Tatum, but it worked. It worked in the first game because they had so many wings, but it definitely isn't the easiest position to be in as a coach.
Yeah. I think at least for the second game, I think he could have given Embiid at least a little minutes. I mean, everyone knows I'm the biggest Embiid hater. I mean, he didn't play very well the first game, but if you want to get someone like him who can be a microwave at times, who can make shot after shot from like pretty much anywhere, you got to give him minutes so he can become that microwave and kind of get into that rhythm. And I think because they run a lot of two like center sets with Davis and Bam, I just wonder why he doesn't run it with Davis and Embiid sometimes, because I think those two could complement each other very well too, because they can both kind of stay on the floor a little bit.
Yeah, I think I saw Brian Windhorst like on ESPN earlier saying something. I think I saw a clip of him saying when he talked to Steve Kerr or something like that, saying like him coaching, he's not coaching an NBA game. It's a FIBA game. It's an Olympic game. It's a completely different game than the NBA game. Like you have to play chemistry-wise, team-wise, how things fit. It's not like an NBA game where it's like, all right, my 5 best players go out there. No, all these guys are elite, so you're trying to pick spots and pick weaknesses and try to change it and like flip everything around. Like it's completely different. It requires more strategy. Steve Kerr's doing a solid job so far. I've been spoiled watching great teams over the years, and having great coaches. But Steve Kerr, like the way he's handling, I don't mind resting some people. I think even Jason Tatum said it was humbling, which I will speak for everybody that all NBA players need a little to be humbled every now and then.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the U.S. their next game will be tomorrow. As we're releasing this on the 3rd, they will be playing Puerto Rico, and that will be the final group play game. Those will start on August 6th. Ben, when you look around, obviously there are more teams playing than just Team USA. There are so many great countries that have gotten great teams together. Are there any other teams or individual players that have stood out to you over the first week of the Olympics?
Oh, wow. I mean, it's a good question. I gotta say, well, I gotta say, I mean, I think Canada's the second best team there, which a lot of people would say, but I mean, that's another team that, is just loaded with talent, loaded with just good all around talent. Like, of course, you got great number 1 scoring option there, and Shea was awesome. And, Jamal Murray, boom, great number 2 scoring option. And then, yeah, great defenders. It could be great role guys for them, like Dylan Brooks and Lou Dort. And then you got, RJ Barrett over there. He's scored that ball, pretty well so far at the Olympics for them. I've been impressed with him on Canada.
Yeah, the whole Canadian team. I mean, we talked about it. They are probably the second best team going into this, and they have a lot of players that are playing any well. Jackson, do you have any guys that you want to give shout outs to from across the Olympics?
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but it's the guard for Japan. He had 29, like 7 and 5 or something. He played amazing.
Okay, is it Yuki Kawamura?
I think so.
Yuki Kawamura, because I'm looking at the point leaders, and he's 5th right now, tied with Rui Hachimura, who had a great game in their last game.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, hold on, before we even get back to it, did you guys see that the ejection for Rui in that game?
No.
Dude, that was unbelievable.
That was
didn't see it.
ridiculous. He should have
What
been
happened?
ejected.
You have a clip of it? Because I did not see that.
I think that's
I
arguably
watched the entire clip of that, and I heard what the refs had to say. That was just horrible. That was
That bad, Ben?
one of the worst calls I've seen. It was that bad.
Oh, jeez.
And Rui
Yes,
was playing lights out that game too. He was playing so well.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's so bad. So I don't want to play the clip because I don't want to worry about any copyright with the Olympics, because I know it's a whole different beast than the NBA. But basically, if I remember correctly, in the FIBA game, you can actually see the officials go over and review it, and you can hear them talking it over. And the one guy, after a pretty light foul call, I mean, he just kind of pushed the guy. It was just a normal, good hard foul. That the official's like, all right. There's one thing this is pretty clear to me. There's wind up, there's impact, and there's follow through. This would be his second hard foul of the game, disqualified. And the other official said, "Yeah, I agree," or something like that, and they threw him out of the game.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
And I think that's what lost them the game, honestly.
Well, yeah, he was playing amazing. I mean, he's their best player, but I mean, Yuki Kawamura was doing his thing, trying to keep them in this as well.
He almost.
But Jackson, who else? Did you have any other players that you wanted?
Ben already said him, but honestly, I've been really impressed with RJ Barrett. In that second game against Japan, he honestly looked like their best player, just throughout the whole night. He was their go-to guy. He was scoring at will, and it was a real treat to see RJ Barrett kind of like in his bag again, because we haven't seen that confidence from RJ Barrett in a while, and I think it was a real treat to kind of watch that.
Yeah, last year was a very weird year for RJ Barrett. Of course, with the whole trade and then the tragic passing of his brother after the trade, it was just very up and down for him. It's nice to see him playing the game with a lot of joy so far in the Olympics, playing for his country. Joey, how about you? Any guys you want to mention here?
I don't know. I would say I'm looking at one of my favorite teams that I've been watching, or that I've been watching highlights because I've been working, but during most of the time, so I can only catch highlights and stuff. But Dennis Schroeder and Germany. Germany have the second highest score differential or points differential right now outside of the U.S. And Dennis Schroeder, the first game, Franz Wagner, the first game was the high score of 22, but Schroeder had 12 assists. I'm assuming most of them went to him. And then the next game, he had 20 points himself. Against the Japan, they played, they beat by 20.
Yeah.
But today, when we're releasing this, they play France. That's the game I want to watch. I want to watch that Friday night.
That's going to be
European
tough
battle right there.
That's the battle.
Yeah, I think he's kind of showing why he's like came in as Germany's like best Olympic athlete that they're bringing here in a way. I mean, that's why they chose him as the flag bearer for their country. So I've been impressed with him too. And obviously, you said Franz. It's good that he's scoring again. Like I said, he's kind of the same thing with RJ Barrett because he's been hitting some threes, and that's the thing he really couldn't do at all at the end of last year.
I was about to say, I think the Germany team, man, they are scary. They're riding high off of the World Cup or winning the World Cup against Canada last year and beating the U.S., obviously.
Well, I mean, that's a team that also has a lot of NBA experience. When you look at Dennis Schroeder, the Wagner brothers, both of them, you've got Daniel Tyus, Isaac Bonga, former NBA player. They've got a lot of guys. They've got a lot of guys on that team. So they're definitely a scary team for any opponent. Shout out to as Ben leaves us for a second. Shout out to Giannis. Doing everything he can for Greece because the numbers that he's been putting up so far, I mean, he's clearly the number one scorer in the Olympics. He's averaging 30.5 points per game through 2 games, which is 7 points higher than RJ Barrett, number 2. When you look at these box scores, in Greece versus Canada, Giannis had 34 points. Former Houston Rocket Kostas Papanikolaou had 17 points. No one else had more than 9 points.
Dude, it's so fun watching Greece games because there's Papa Giannis, and Papa Nikolaou, and it's just you hear Dwayne Wade and the other dude like just saying it the whole time, and it's just so funny. It's like Papa Nikolaou for 3.
Dude, the names on some of these teams are just awesome. Like the Serbia USA game, like every name ends with itch, like Jokic, Jovic. But then Greece,
Bogdanovic.
Yeah, Bogdanovic. The names on Greece, you got, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kostas Papanikolaou. I can't even pronounce this. There's Kalazakis, Larenzakis, Moraitis, Kogs. And then you just have Thomas Walkup and Nick Kalathis on here.
Can't forget about LeBron James. That's a weird name.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but shout out to Giannis, man. He's been doing his best, but of course, Greece is just stuck there in the group of death. So it's
Hostess at, man, where they need it.
Yeah, that's the group of death right there. I feel bad for them. Happy that they qualified. That's still an accomplishment in itself, but because they had to go through Doncic to get there. But
yes,
man.
They're
brutal. Imagine if we saw Doncic instead of Giannis here in this group of death with Slovenia.
He'd die. He'd be disintegrated. But yeah, I mean, also, I kind of forgot Australia existed in this tournament, but Giddey's playing well. Obviously, Patty Mills is going to be Patty Mills.
Yeah, Giddey's impressed me.
But Josh Giddey first had 17, 8, and 8, man. Couldn't get over the 18, man.
Come on, Jack, that's horrible.
Dude, Jackson, that was uncalled for.
I saw that on Twitter and I was laughing.
Oh my!
That is so bad. Hey, wait! Shout out to someone who's arguably been their best player. Current Houston Rocket Jock Landale has been balling for the Aussies.
Yeah.
Goglin always believed in you.
I did. Well, he was on my
wait.
He was on my fantasy team for a bit, so yeah, I did.
And all you did was talk trash about him on the pod because he was on your fantasy team.
Oh my gosh. Cristiano Felicio has hair now?
No way.
Dude, remember Cristiano Felicio?
I do. He was he had the buzz cut always. He always had a buzz cut.
Yeah, now he's got hair like up to here.
Dang.
Yeah, what do you know about Marcelo Huertas?
Marcelo. This is so fun because you just see a whole bunch of names that you just forgot. Like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this guy.
What about Spain? They have a guy who's been to the last I don't know how many Olympics since 2004. He's been in it longer than LeBron. Rudy Fernandez.
Rudy's playing for them still?
Rudy Fernandez is 40 years old, still playing for the Spain national team. He played in 2004, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24.
That's crazy.
Don't forget
Brazil
about
got a 40-something-year-old playing on their team.
Hey, don't forget about Sergio Llull too.
Sergio Yui.
Yeah, Yui. Yeah, a lot.
It looks like
Santi
Lol.
Aldama has been going crazy as well.
Oh, Aldama, yeah. Dude, Spain has a good team as well. They
Hernan
really do. They
Gomez
always have a good team.
brothers,
Dude, I just-
Usman
France-
Garuba, Alex
France
Abrinas.
is so tough to
Alex Abrines.
with the FIBA rules. It makes Rudy and Victor like just so OP.
It touches the rim. Whack.
Bye. Nice to see you.
Whack. Whack.
Another big piece of news, just real quick. Today is the NFL Hall of Fame game. It's back. Football's back. I'm happy. Put a big smile on my face this morning when I saw that, but just wanted to say that.
This is an NBA podcast.
That's why I said it was gonna be quick. It was quick. Just.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
I can't.
But another thing I did like about the Team USA, have you seen their emblems that they have on their backpacks? Or their like it has their number and then everyone, like every player that's ever worn that for USA in basketball.
Oh, I did see that.
Yes,
I like
yes,
that.
That's super cool. Very, very, very cool stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun to eventually get into the to the semifinal games and the actual little tournament thing.
Yeah.
The medal games. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. All the sports have been super fun to keep in touch with. It's sports all day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
USA is gonna start getting their golds tomorrow.
They already have 9.
Yeah, but track hasn't even started yet, has it?
It started, but not the medal ones yet.
Yeah, so when the medal ones start, that's where we're gonna get the bulk of our medals.
Yeah.
Is track and field, and hopefully basketball. I hope our team, because I've talked them up. I've talked them up a lot.
Let's hope Jimmer Fredette can carry us to a medal.
He's already cooked, dude. He's 0-2.
You know what? So on our Instagram page, we'll link it in the description down below. Joey has actually put up a poll. Jackson was talking up this team of comparing the best Olympic or U.S. men's Olympic basketball teams of all time. The ones in the conversation, we have this current team, the Redeem team in 2008, and the Dream team in 1992. And this is something that we, really just Jackson and Joey have been talking about, debating for the last probably 2 to 3 hours, even before we got onto this podcast.
I said the Redeem team was the best. Okay, I admitted that finally.
He did vote on the poll and did say the Redeem team is best. But
dude,
tell him who your third is, or your second and third is.
Second is this year's, and third, if they win. If they don't win, then I will change mine, obviously. But but as of right now, like how they're looking, I think they've looked amazing. Obviously, I wasn't around to watch the Dream Team, but I think Dream Team is just third, dude.
Neither was I. That's not an excuse. Learn up on your history, bud.
I have my history.
Yeah, wait, we have a lot more Olympics things coming up. Actually, spoiler. Well, I mean, you already read the title, so you know it's coming. We're going to be doing an Olympics drafting all-time players just based off of the Olympics. So we'll get into more discussion on this a little bit later. But if you're interested, go in the description down below and vote in the poll so we can actually see that the Dream Team is the best team of all time.
Please put Goglin in his place.
It's not.
Okay, now let's get into actual NBA news. Of course, it has been a week since we've been on. We did miss last episode because we just had a lot of things going on. But there were some things that did occur over the last week. Actually, just yesterday, Gordon Hayward announces his retirement after 14 seasons. The 34-year-old was a one-time All-Star, played for 4 different teams, had a very, very, very good career. A very good career for Gordon Hayward. I'm kind of surprised that he did end up retiring because I thought that he could have given some more to a team. But congratulations to Gordon Hayward on your retirement.
That All-Star year was special, man. Prime Gordon Hayward, man.
I think this OKC decision was the killer for him because I remember seeing him talk about it after, and he was like, I was really wanting to play, but I've never really got my chance. Or it just didn't work out the way it wanted, and
dude,
I think that's what he thought was going to be the reality in the future. But I'm with you, Miles. I thought he could have helped out a couple teams.
The
for at least
Brooklyn Nets
another
have
couple
extra roster
years.
spots, man. Always.
That's true.
But yeah, Gordon Hayward, I was putting together this highlight reel. Like just some of his highlights, it's just unreal, especially his Utah days. I mean, of course, he had the injury right when he went to Boston, but like just this play, chase down block. Okay, his
Oh.
teammate saves it back to Avery Bradley and gets another block. Like he was,
And then gets the
unreal.
rebound and goes in transition.
Oh my.
But yeah, Gordon Hayward,
Game winner over the Cavs. Wow, look at that.
he was just so athletic for his time. He's going to be a player that is probably forgotten by most fans because he was just a one-time All-Star. But no, going even back to this year, I think the OKC thing, I think it was just kind of a rough situation because the way he's played, post injury and stuff, he thrives as, a secondary pick and roll type player. And OKC was filled with those players. They kind of needed guys that were going to, spot up and shoot more than guys that were going to handle the ball. So I thought Gordon Hayward could have thrived in a different situation where they could have actually used his skill set, but he decides to retire. I mean, he had a, great career. You see all his highlights here.
Man, you say people might forget him. Man, people that watch college basketball will never forget about Gordon
That
Hayward.
is
We
true.
all became fans of Butler and him back in the day. The underdog, first real underdog story I remember. Oh man, that was the real one that like went all the way to the championship game against Cardiac Kemba. Like that national championship game was. If y'all don't remember it, or anybody listening or watching, watch that game. Go on YouTube, find it, or at least find the fourth quarter. Like that game was one of the best games I've ever seen.
Dude, if that half court shot went in, oh my gosh. That was
Barely missed a half court game winner at the buzzer. Oh
yeah, so shout out to Gordon Hayward. Definitely a special player during his time. I wish he didn't get injured the first play or his first game with the Celtics, because that could have really been a special team there. I also wish that after, he did have a bounce back year with the Celtics in the 1920 season, but then he goes to Charlotte where, it was good the first few years, but even like me, I was one of the things that I will always remember from working at the Cavs is just doing Hornets games, and Gordon Hayward just didn't look like he wanted to be a part of the team. He looked so just so exhausted from being with all those young players there. He looked like he wanted to go win. So I wish that he, could have had that opportunity to go for a championship, but congratulations to Gordon Hayward, special career.
very much.
Probably won't be a Hall of Famer or anything like that, but a fun player that we will remember.
I think the chance he has is for the college basketball Hall of Fame. His college career making it to the Final Four. He might have a chance there.
Yeah, definitely potential for that there. So now moving on to some more unexpected news. We have Cleveland Cavaliers center Jarrett Allen agreeing to a 3-year, $91 million extension, which will guarantee him under contract with the Cavaliers for 5 years, making $131 million over those 5 years. Ben, what was your initial reaction when we saw this news?
Well, I was like, wow, I can't believe the kids were doing another extension with someone else. I was kind of surprised, but I mean, I really liked the move because I mean, I think he had to, lock him up with an extension for a good amount of money, to keep him around. I think needed to do that and keep him around. So I mean, that was another good extension deal called by Kobe Altman there.
Joey, how about you? I mean, this is kind of like a no-brainer thing here to, probably extend him. But do you have other different thoughts about it?
No, the more and more we've talked about it, the summer has passed. No moves been made. It's not surprising that he wasn't moved. And if you're just going to roll with him and not move him, you better extend him. So they did. And honestly, with the upcoming deals, $31 million for Jarrett Allen is going to be a steal.
Yeah, absolutely. You forget, like, I mean, obviously we're in Cleveland, so we watch the Cavs games and we understand how great he is. I mean, besides Jackson, unable to do
Yeah.
that. But around the league, I feel like he's one of the most underrated players in the game because he is just so solid. He's on the floor for the most part. Obviously, he got injured in the playoffs, but he was very, very durable this season for a team that, their biggest problem was durability issues and players being injured and out of the lineup. He was great, showed a lot of different things on the floor at both ends. Like even going back here, you saw a whole bunch of different new post moves that we did not see before in his arsenal. He had a better year this year than his All-Star year a couple of years ago. I just like it because this is a contract that even if the Cavs decide that, okay, we want Evan Mobley to be our center full time, this will be a contract that can 100% be traded in the future if the Cavs decide to go down that route.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like I said, with the new deals, this contract is going to be a steal, and there's always going to be teams that need a really good big man if they want to make a playoff push that may want a bit of an upgrade. So this is a very movable contract as well.
Now,
Yeah.
Ben, I have a question for you. So with this Cavs offseason and them deciding not to really make any huge moves besides, the switching of the head coaches and the extensions, are you disappointed in this Cavs offseason that they didn't decide to make any changes? Because I know that there are a decent amount of fans that are disappointed with that.
Yeah, so with the coaching change, yes, I definitely really like that was really good that got done. But yeah, I was thinking going into off season that the Cavs were gonna do more than what they've done so far this off season. Like I thought they were like by now gonna have like some like at least like decent new small forward added to the team. Like it's thinking, coming into off season, well, maybe they're gonna trade for Cam Johnson for the Nets, with what the Nets were looking like, they were wanting to do once they traded Mikal Bridges. But I was hoping they would add like, some other wing guy, but like I don't know.
Joey,
Kuzma
how
somehow,
about
but
you?
that might have been I'm guessing that would have been a steep asking price, but or like Cam Jackson, I was hoping for, but yeah, I just don't think we'll be able to like get anyone like that now, which is unfortunate because I'm wishing that I did something like that definitely would have helped for sure, but I wouldn't say it was a bad off season though by the Cavs, but not a great one.
Joey, how about you?
It's a very mid off season. It really is. Like we got the
Yeah.
extensions, and by all means, re-signing Donovan Mitchell is great. That should constitute a great off season in itself. But just to run it back, we had holes to fill outside of just the question marks. We need a backup center. Another wing would be good. Maybe another backup point guard, unless you're ready to roll with Ty Jerome and Craig Porter. There were some holes that we could have upgraded, and it's not a crazy free agency. We're not going to land any big names, but we don't need big names. A Tyus Jones would have been a great backup to Darius Garland. I know we wouldn't get him like Isaiah Hartenstein, but maybe one of the other big men would be just a solid backup because we don't have one outside of do we still have Double T?
We don't know. He's not officially re-signed.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the thing with the Cavs
Okay.
So
offseason.
that's not good. Like even just
No.
having double T, that's
Jeez.
not good.
No, it's
Yeah.
you definitely hope for a lot better. I think the thing with the Cavs is, I mean, coming into this offseason, I wasn't, at least with free agency, I wasn't expecting a whole lot to be changed because we already had like a lot of players under contract already. Like the only thing is Isaac Okoro, who's still in restricted free agency, and you can't really make any moves until that's figured out because if depending on the amount of money, the Cavs would then be in the second apron, which they don't want to be in at this point. So they kind of is impossible for them to make any moves. I do think as time goes on that the Cavs are looking to do a sign and trade with Isaac Okoro, actually to the Brooklyn Nets, not for Cam Johnson, but for Dorian Finney-Smith. That is something that is actually being reported that
I
could
would
be added
Yeah.
to
like
the
that.
Cavs, which
I
would be
would
nice.
like that too. Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
When I'm looking at this right now, like the Cavs off season, I'm not necessarily looking just at their off season. I'm looking at all the other top teams in the East. And when I look at these other top teams in the East, like Boston, they didn't really get better, but they didn't need to get better. I mean, New York got Mikal Bridges. That's an upgrade. They re-signed, obviously, Jalen Brunson on a huge pay cut. I mean, which is going to help their team in the long run. They're going to get Julius back. As much as I don't like him, he will help them on offense. And then you have Philly getting Paul George. That's another big like move. A lot of I'm not saying every top team in the East got a lot better, but multiple of them did get better, and the Cavs are kind of just standing still here.
Not even the top teams, but the teams pretty much on the same level of them that they played in the first round. The Orlando Magic got a lot better too, signed a bunch of key reserves and locked up the contract extension for Franz Wagner. Like even the teams kind of on par with them are getting better.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
where I'm upset about too.
And like even Indy, I mean, Indy didn't really need to do much because I mean they're just a young team. It's going to come with development that they're going to get better. And I'm trying to think. I mean, even you could argue Atlanta got better because they got rid of DeJounte.
That's
And
like the
they're kind
less is more theory.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
having the number one pick is nice too.
Hopefully he's
Yeah.
good. I mean, Reed Shepard be
Yeah,
better.
I mean,
but
we'll see.
Reed Shepard is better based off of Summer League. I'm with you, Goglin. I'm so
Like,
happy for you. I know we're talking
I-
about Cavs, but shout out Reed Shepard.
Yeah. Shout out to Reed Shepard.
I
He
needed him in
did
my
look
life.
great. So yeah, the Cavs, I mean, this offseason, the way I look at it now at this point, I look at, I guess, three things. One, I mean, they are banking on Kenny Atkinson changing everything and making it better, which I think they are probably going to get better now that they have an offensive coach. I've been saying that for a while, that you can't really judge the core four until they have a good offensive coach. But I mean, when you look at this team, I mean, going into this offseason, I mean, this is a team that did go to the second round. They were the fourth seed in the East. How much better off seasons can you get than getting a better coach and extending your three best players?
I think they would have been better off getting like a Brandon Ingram though, or even like I was thinking when Ben said like Cam Johnson. I was thinking, what if they went and did a deal like Jarrett Allen for Nick Claxton and Cam Johnson, or Jarrett Allen and like another piece to match up money for Cam Johnson and Nick Claxton, because I think Nick Claxton and Jarrett Allen, they're not too far off, but you're also getting Cam Johnson, who is a significant upgrade.
Yeah, you just wonder if the Nets would have done that. Like that's the thing. If you're the Cat, you can want all these things all you want. New
I don't
Orleans,
think the Nets
obviously,
would have did that.
And even if the Nets don't do that, then you can attach like an Isaac Okoro to that. I feel like that would still be a great for the Cavs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But like just not doing, like I feel like the two, I don't know. I feel like if I'm a Cavs fan, I'm not confident about next year because they didn't do enough to catch up to the other teams that they were already behind. And those other teams that they were already kind of behind got significantly better in some ways.
Yeah, there's definitely arguments for both ways. Moving on, let's go to the Phoenix Suns signing Tyus Jones. This was the best free agent on the market at the time about a week ago when he signed, and he signed with Phoenix for the 1 year minimum deal. And now the Phoenix Suns have a legitimate point guard. Looking at this team, looking at this roster with the new additions, what do you guys think about their offseason? Jackson, we'll start with you. What do you think about the Suns offseason after their disappointing last year?
I mean, just looking at it right now, like their depth is a lot better. I mean, even at the point guard, Monte and Tyus Jones, those are two solid point guards. And I mean, Booker, if you really need him to, can step up and play that role. I think if Bradley Beal stays healthy, that's another him and Grayson Allen. That's a good 1-2 punch there. Obviously, you have Kevin Durant, who's looking like one of the best players on the planet right now. Hopefully, he can bring that into next season, obviously. And another really underrated one is Mason Plumlee. He was a fantastic backup big for the Clippers last year, and I think him kind of being there for Phoenix adds another big depth piece for that, because he's another guy who, if you want to play Booker at the 1, he can kind of be out there and play make a little bit, because we've seen him do that in the past.
Yeah,
and I like
Plumlee and Nurkic together. They were traded for each other actually with
Yep.
Portland. They're two kind of pretty similar players, so they can kind of run the same type of stuff there with either big on the floor. Ben, what are your thoughts on the Suns offseason now getting Tyus Jones? I guess I'll pose this question to you. Do you think that Tyus Jones should start right away? Because I did have him up on the chart to at this current moment, but of course they didn't. They started Beal and Booker together last year. Do you think that they will change their starting lineup going into next year?
My guess is that I think Budenholzer somehow will. I don't know. I'm feeling like he's somehow gonna have like Jones at the 1, then Beal at the 2, Booker at the 3, even Durant and Nurkic in the lineup. But I mean, I think that's what I would go with if I were them. Well, be an easy call, but
yeah,
kind of you'd be kind of undersized. But I mean, I think that's really the best lineup. And then with Tyus Jones, I mean, he's gonna be such a good distributor for the stars of that team. I mean, that's a great passer right there. And he's totally gonna help that team, because last year, they didn't really have a distributor or a true point guard like that.
Yeah, I think it's all going to be conditional for them. I think it's going to depend a lot on who they're playing. Like, if they're playing a team like Minnesota, who's like not super big at the front 3, like McDaniels is pretty lengthy, but I mean, you're not worried about him on the offensive end necessarily as much. I think they could play that kind of lineup you just showed with Tyus, Beal, Booker, and then KD. But I mean, I think it's just conditional. If you're playing against a team that's kind of smaller ball with like a traditional point guard, you could play him there. But if not, you could run Beal and Booker together and then Okogie. Especially if the other team has, like, if they're playing like the Mavericks, I think you're going to need Okogie to play in the starting lineup there, because you can plug him on Luka and all that.
Oh yeah, somehow forget about him. Yeah,
Yeah, he
he's a
can get
great
forgotten a little
defender
bit too. Joey, I mean, we'll in the coming episodes we are going to get into each team, actually going into deep diving and previewing them heading into next season. But when you look at this team already, the big blaring thing to me is the defense, and it scares me a lot with this team.
Yeah. What's defense? Like, who needs defense when you got he's a good playmaker. Tyus Jones, got to give him his credit. He's been in the league for a while now and has been a solid playmaker everywhere he goes. So, good playmaker, loads of shooters and talent everywhere that you could pass to. Who needs defense? Like, that's just how it, I think, has to be. I think they're gonna try to revert to like the Mike D'Antoni and the 3 seconds or less, or what is
7 seconds or less?
7 seconds or less? That's what it is. Yeah.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Works in
Yeah.
the regular season, does not work in the playoffs. That has been proven.
Work in the playoffs, man.
Well, no, you're right. I mean, Tyus Jones. I mean, he's a borderline elite playmaker. I mean, last year he finally got to be a full-time starter for Washington. Was very efficient. This is unbelievable. Tyus Jones, this is a guy, he's not a household name. He has led the NBA in assist to turnover ratio 5 times.
Wow.
In his 9-year career, which is just so impressive.
I would call that elite playmaker.
Yeah.
That's
someone
like
who
the
watched,
definition.
Yeah. As someone who watched probably way more Wizards games than anyone on planet Earth last year.
For Poole.
Yep, for Poole. But he's such a good guy. But yeah, as someone who watched a lot of Wizards games last year, Tyus was just he kind of reminds me of like a poor man's Fred VanVleet in the sense that he can get you some buckets and he's going to be a good he's going to be a great passer who's going to get the ball to the guys who need the ball.
I thought the Rockets had a poor man's Fred VanVleet.
Yeah, his name's Fred VanVleet. He sucks, dude. He's a poor man's Tyus Jones, actually.
That was what I was saying. You got to switch it up now.
Well, yeah, Tyus Jones, great signing for the Phoenix Suns. It's also a guy that he won't complain if he is also starting the year and he is, leading the second unit coming in. Honestly, what I think is going to happen to start the year, I think that they are going to go with they're going to start their 5 best players probably. They'll start Jones, Booker, Beal, Durant, Nurkic. I have a feeling that to start the year, it's not going to work, and Bradley Beal is going to have to come off the bench, and that's going to be a storyline to start the year. First bold prediction about the Phoenix Suns.
Whoa!
I agree. Bradley Beal's a sissy. He's overpaid. He was carried by John Wall his entire career.
Oh, my God.
Okay, you know what? I can't argue with that statement. John Wall was a different animal back in the day.
I don't think Bradley Beal is bad or anything. I just think, that's a lineup. There's only one. There's only one basketball, and all those guys are going to need the basketball.
Most fluke 30-point per game season ever.
He used to be an elite defender and a great shooter. Now he's just a good shooter.
You remember when he said the Wizards couldn't guard a parked car?
It was a fact. It was a fact, and it could be a fact with this team. But hey, maybe Devin Booker's Team USA defense can carry over the regular season because
Kevin Durant just makes every shot. Kevin Durant shoots 90% on the NBA.
Yes, Kevin Durant just makes 9 for 9 every single game.
Who would have thought going into the next season the 2 best defenders on that team will be Devin Booker and Bol Bol?
AD's better than Bol Bol. Stop it.
Well, all right. So that is all the news. Let's get into the draft. The Olympics draft. We are going to be drafting, at all time based off of their Olympic play. We are doing another serpentine draft. Joey has the first pick. Ben has the second pick. I have number 3. Jackson has number 4, and then it'll switch back around.
I did zero research before this, by the way.
I didn't do any research either. We're going in this blind based off of my pure knowledge.
I'm basically going into this blind. I have an idea of how I want to go about this.
I'm taking Hayward at first.
Ben's sitting there like, I did 5 pages of research already. Like, I got this in the bag.
I'm taking Australian.
This is going to be fun. Now, I think what we're going to end up doing... How long do you guys want to go on this? Do you want to do a 6-man? You want to do 8-man rotation?
10? No, please stop.
We got time, man.
I don't have time. It's already we're already like 50 minutes in.
Can we do 6 then? What's
okay?
5
We'll do
6, man. I want to do a 6-man.
Depends how fast it goes.
Starting 5 for now, and if we want to add more, we
want to add a 6-man.
What if I
you have the
first man
pick.
in the first round?
What are you saying?
What if I want to take my 6-man in the first round?
I already know what he wants to do.
Oh my god!
I
You might
already
be
know
the
what he wants
stupidest.
to do.
You might be the stupidest person ever.
How?
No,
Okay,
he wants
well,
to take a former Houston Rockets player.
I am not
Right,
gonna
exactly.
fluff it up. I'm gonna take the number one scorer in U.S. history, Kevin Durant, as the number one pick. Sorry, best player on the best nation in basketball. Sorry, here we go.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really argue with
I was gonna say we're talking about strictly U.S. or no, not just U.S. but Olympic basketball. Olympic play.
Yeah, it's hard to really argue with that one there. All right, Ben, who are you thinking?
Huh. Well, multiple different good options out there. But I think I'm gonna go with Carmelo Anthony.
Hey yo!
With pick number 2, hey, Carmelo Anthony was great for the. I thought that's who Jackson wanted to come off.
He was awesome in the Olympics,
dude. No, I have my bench guy, but if we're not doing 6-man, I'm not taking him first round.
Better not. Okay. All right. So with the third pick, I'm not gonna complicate this anymore. I'm taking LeBron.
There we go.
I mean, I gotta go with LeBron at this point.
Fourth pick
Number
sucks,
3.
dude. The fourth pick is awful.
You wanted the fourth pick.
You literally were
I
cheering.
wanted the third.
Okay, to the viewers, you should have heard him, but when we did this, he was like, please get the fourth pick. Yes, I got the fourth pick.
He literally gave a fist pump.
I know, but hey, he's got back-to-back selections.
All right, let me think about this.
No, remember, Goglin said it was okay to do the fixed. He wants the last pick in each round. He loves it. He loves it.
I do. Okay. I'm not gonna overcomplicate the first one. I think I'm gonna take Kobe with the first one.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's Kobe in the Olympics. He's dog.
Yeah.
And then, who do I want?
A lot of different ways you could go.
I'm saying there's so many countries that I could pick from. I think. I think I'm gonna take Tim Duncan for my power forward.
Tim Duncan.
I think that's a solid 1-2.
One of my favorite players of all time. I see the dirty play at work, Goglin. I see what you're doing, and I don't appreciate it.
Exactly.
I don't appreciate it. You've been testing my patience all day.
Yep.
Oh.
All right,
Okay.
I'm up next.
I know, Miles.
I'm up next.
Oh yeah, that's right. Forgot. Okay.
So I'm thinking, okay, this guy only played in one Olympics, but he was so incredibly efficient in the 2008 Olympics. I'm going with Dwayne Wade.
Fair.
He was incredible in these Olympics. He was their best player. I mean, dude, in 16 points, 67% from the field, 47%
That's nuts.
As a guard. Like, are
that
you
is
kidding me?
Nuts.
Are you kidding me?
Man. You just took him. You took my 6-man. How dare you?
The Flash.
Pairing Dwayne Wade and LeBron once again.
Oh, I see what you did there. That's a good pairing right there.
All right, Ben. So who will Ben pair with Carmelo Anthony?
Mellow.
I'm gonna go. Another all-time legend who hasn't been picked yet, Michael Jordan.
Michael, I was thinking, is he gonna make it to me? I was like, no way, Michael Jordan falls to me in the last pick in the second round.
Yeah, I was thinking about. It's kind of. He fell to what is this pick 7? That's kind of crazy.
Michael Jordan has never been picked 7th in his life.
Deserved.
I
LeBron.
mean,
Wait, Goslin, what was that?
I said deserved. LeBron's better. Don't even try and argue that he's not as good as.
Sorry,
LeBron.
Miles, I cut you off. What were you saying?
No, I was just going to say Michael Jordan. I mean, his Olympics career, if we're just going based off Olympics, there are definitely other guys that are better than Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Plumber.
I mean, we are going to get into the dog days of the offseason where we will have plenty of time for the MJ LeBron debates if necessary.
If necessary.
If
If
necessary. But
necessary.
Joey, you've got back-to-back picks with a
All
party
right.
selecting Kevin Durant number 1 overall.
Well, with Kevin Durant, I'm going to have him play like a 3 or 4, but I do need a big man, so I'm going to take Pau Gasol.
Ooh,
Cool.
Pau Gasol.
Kobe's gonna run right through his chest. You're cooked.
I know he will.
I mean,
But the way they called it in that Olympics is the same way they'll call it in the net if they
I
play.
don't care. He'll take
A foul.
and he'll take the same foul both times.
Hey, man, Pau Gasol, 3rd leading scorer in Olympic history, in men's basketball Olympic history. Like, is there any other doubt? And my other pick is, hey, I don't want to hear it. I know there's legends out there, but strictly for Olympic history, give me Patty Mills as a point guard.
Oh my gosh.
He just moved into 6th all-time in Olympic history in scoring. Give me Patty Mills, Pau Gasol, and Kevin Durant.
Thank you for choking.
All right. All right, so Ben with Michael Jordan and Carmelo Anthony is up next.
Well, I'm very interested to see what all of your reactions are to this, but I'm going to go the all-time Olympic leading scorer. I'm not sure if you guys even know who this is, but it's Brazil's Oscar Schmidt.
Oscar Schmidt.
Who had 193 points all-time in the Olympics and was the Olympics' top average scorer, 28.8 points per game.
Oh,
Dang!
I was like, I researched that. I was like, this is nuts.
How many
Jeez.
medals has
Kobe's
he won?
running through his chest.
He has, I don't even, it said online where I read it that, he didn't even win a medal. But
Oh, I thought
he put
Anderson
up that
Varejao
good
would have
of
carried
stats
him.
somehow.
Oh my, yeah, it doesn't look
I
like
think
he's
I'll
won a
have to
medal.
go
But
with
dude,
him.
these Olympic numbers are unbelievable. In 1988 for Brazil, this guy averaged 42 points and 8 rebounds per game, shooting 57% from the field and 56% from 3 on 8 attempts, and 92% on free throws, 12 attempts, and this guy is listed as a power forward.
Dude was
in
putting up will
1988.
numbers back in the 50s and 60s.
No, he's doing Dirk numbers. He's not. He's like 60, 50, 90 as a power forward.
That is nuts.
Oh my gosh!
Good pick, Ben.
Shout out to Oscar Schmidt. Wow. All right. So next,
Oscar Schmidt, man.
all right.
Who would have
so
thought
Dwayne
all of us
Wade-
would have been dogged by a dude named Oscar Schmidt from Brazil?
Kobe's not getting dogged by. He'll run right through his chest too.
Oh my gosh. Find something else, Jason Tatum, please.
Find something else, Jason Tatum.
Tim Duncan about to hit his fadeaway ever.
Okay.
be
So
so
Dwayne Wade and LeBron. I
Silly
don't
picks.
know where.
Get the
I wanna
banana
go.
boat crew. I dare you.
He
Hey,
can't.
I'm thinking about it. Unfortunately, Carmelo Anthony's already gone, so I can't fully do it. I am certainly thinking about Chris Paul because that'd be great. I mean, it just would. It'd be a great fit. You know what? I do need some off-ball shooting, and it seems like this round is just the international round. So I am going to take Manu Ginobili.
No!
No! Oh.
Not Manu Ginobili.
I'm taking Manu Ginobili.
That was literally my next pick.
Ginobili.
Yes.
Dude.
Ginobili.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay.
Oh yeah, right.
So Jackson needs defense on his team. This might not be the most flashy pick, but he was the best defender on the 92 Dream Team, okay? His name is Scottie Pippen.
Ooh.
And I think to pair him alongside Tim Duncan and Kobe, nobody's getting past our team. It's just not happening.
You got some elite defenders on that team right there.
It's defense wins championships, my man.
Especially in
That's how it
FIBA. Especially in
That's what I'm
FIBA.
saying. And then, if I had to go with my second pick right now, my second pick is going to be Magic Johnson to get my scores. Some
The
buckets.
ball. There you go.
That's all we need.
What a playmaker. I like you picking 2 Dream Team guys. That's exactly how we like it.
This is what a turn of events we have here.
This is a change of heart I never could have predicted.
Nope,
All
not
right.
there yet. Not there yet. Stop it.
Okay, I am trying to do some quick research on the
Whoa,
fly.
whoa.
Yeah, what is this dude thinking, bro? Who do you think you are, son?
I'm Oscar
Sonny boy?
Schmidt, dude.
I'm Oscar Schmitting this.
Yeah, that is insane. Well, okay. So I need a big at this point. I've taken Manu, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron. So I have a bunch of guards who can play make. Well, obviously LeBron plays like a guard. So I'm going to take the 4th all-time leading scorer in Olympic history.
Ooh.
Someone who was on the same team as Manu Ginobili. Give me Luis Scola.
Ooh.
Luis Scola can space the floor as well. Good post player.
Kyle's gonna eat him for lunch, dude.
Rude. Me
How
and
is
you just right in the pre-pod lobby jinxed ourselves because we both said Luis Scola at the same time.
Yep.
He made it to me. I was taking him.
That would have been Scola and Pau Gasol. That would have been a nice front court.
And KD.
All right,
I don't know who to play where.
What's your pick?
I think here I'm gonna go Luka Doncic just because he was in the Olympics in Tokyo for Slovenia. I mean,
Was he?
yeah,
I think so.
he was. He had like 48-point game at that, I think, too.
Oh my god, he did.
Something like that. I'm
think
going
he
him
did.
just because he was so good at that.
Wow.
Luka Doncic 2020 yeah. 48 points in one game.
He's no Oscar Schmidt.
He's no
He's no Oscar Schmidt. Oh my goodness. All right, so Luka, Michael Jordan, Carmelo Anthony, and Oscar Schmidt for Ben so far. Now, Joe, we have the final round of picks. Joey's got his final 2 with so far Patty Mills, Kevin Durant, and Pau Gasol.
Okay, so I need a 2 and a 4. Well, I can get a 3 and a 4. I can do the 3 and the 4 are very interchangeable. Forwards. That's who I have. I'm going to take Andre Kirilenko, AK-47.
No.
I'm researching, and he has the most steals in Olympic history for Russia. So I need some. That's some good defense right there.
You do need a defensive stopper.
And then for a shooter, straight shooter, would have been one of the best shooters in the NBA if he lived long enough. But in Olympic history, he is, number 9 in point scorer all time. Drazen Petrovic.
Good pick.
All right, rest in peace, man.
Yep.
What a legend.
Mm-hmm.
Huge legend there. That's hey. So Joey, well, I guess we'll go.
Yeah,
over.
We can go over it at the end. Ben.
All right, Ben. The final pick. Looks like for the 3 of us, we all need centers.
Well,
Oh gosh.
Definitely
I
going
have
a
an out of left
5
field,
here.
so.
That's for sure. Man.
Please don't take my player. Please don't
I already
take
know
my
who Goglin's picking if he gets
Uh,
that.
You
I
know?
do. I do.
Really. I guarantee you don't.
I'm gonna text it to you.
It's not Bam. I'm on my phone. It's not Bam. I'm telling you right now, it's not Bam Adebayo. As much as I want it to be.
Here, I'll type it out. I'll type it out.
Oh no, as Ben leaves it. Ben will be back. Man, this is
Wait, type it
tough
out in
because
what?
there aren't a whole lot of crazy centers on the board. There's Ben.
yeah,
you
so
typing in?
I just picked Yao Ming on my team.
Yo.
He played
That's
for
a good
China in the
Not-
Olympics before.
Yup.
Not my Pookie.
And I mean, with how FIBA rules are and his height, I mean, I just feel like he'll be OP for my
Joey,
team
where
at
did you
times.
type it?
I didn't text you. I wrote it down on Snapchat, but my hands are up. I already wrote it down, but I know who you're picking. I wrote it
Dude,
down.
It's
Jackson,
actually
don't
so.
Jackson, back away, dude. Back away a little bit, dude.
I had to see. It's so out of left field, dude. It's actually crazy recency bias.
Oh god.
Okay, so now my final pick. I need a big as
Maybe
well.
I'm wrong.
I have a couple in mind. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with one of the greatest interior defenders of all time. We'll go with David Robinson as the 5.
Oh.
That's who Joey thought I was gonna pick.
I did.
I wasn't.
Dang.
No.
Well,
David.
if you were gonna pick him, who were you gonna pick? That's who I wrote down, by the way, though. Dang.
Really? Oh, that's hilarious.
Okay, so
I did say if he wasn't gonna get picked, so I knew there was a chance Miles took him.
So for mine, it's like I said, recency bias. But and he's probably not going to be in the Olympics much longer. Just kidding, he's going to win the gold this year. I think I'm going to take Anthony Davis because looking at the rest of my team, I need someone who can space the floor, and I need someone who's going to block some more shots with Timmy up front. And I think with that starting 5, he fits really well. I was between him and Giannis this year, but I don't think. I also value the medals. We need all the gold medals over here.
Yeah, that is very, very, very true. So let's go over all the teams, and then how about pay attention to who we all got on the same team, because afterwards let's pick who you each think has the best team besides your own and why. We can give some other credit across the board. Joey, you go first since you had the first pick.
My team consists of Patty Mills, Drazen Petrovic, Kevin Durant, Andre Kirilenko, and Powell. Yeah, I forgot. I didn't write it down. Sorry. But yes, and Powell.
Ben, did you write yours down?
But yeah, I got it down by head basically. But should I say it now?
Yeah, tell the people.
All right, so I got Luka Doncic at the point guard. Then I got Michael Jordan at shooting guard. I got Carmelo Anthony at small forward. Then I got Oscar Schmidt at power forward. And then I got Yao Ming at center. Yao Ming. Which would be a cheat code for me
Oscar
sometimes.
Schmidt, bro. What is
Yo, Big.
All right, Miles, what's yours looking like?
My team, I've got. Mine. It's kind of positionless at the top. You really can go any way with this. But what I got written down, I got Manu Ginobili, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Luis Scola, and David Robinson.
You got 2 power forwards, 2 shooting guards in the center.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then mine, I got Magic, Kobe, Pippen. Oh my gosh, who's my 4? Tim Duncan and
AD.
I should have put Duncan at the 5. I could have done so much more, but
It's all right.
I like my team. I like my team. My team plays clamps, dude.
Honestly, if I'm gonna give credit anywhere, as much as it pains me to do so,
Say it.
I kind of have to pick Goglin's team as probably the next best team besides my own.
It's better than your team.
No, it's not better than my own, but with Kobe,
Who's
Scotty,
not
Tim,
guarding Magic, bro?
that's a great team. Tim, I'm also very biased. Tim Duncan is like my favorite player of all time. So, but very good job drafting, Goglin. Very good job drafting.
Yeah, I'd probably have to agree with a team besides my own. The only thing that worries me is just the 3-point shooting. Because if your best 3-point shooter is Anthony Davis, I'm a little scared.
Dude, we don't need it. We pound the paint. We get steals and we get transition points, man. We get blocks.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team that plays perfect. That would play perfectly, like in the 80s and 90s,
It
and early
really would.
2000s.
And my sixth man is gonna be.
We're not doing six.
No, we're not
I
doing
need a
6.
shooter, so from Australia, give me Benjamin Simmons.
Oh, that automatically makes him the worst team.
Wait! You said shooter?
Okay, all right, Ben, you go ahead. Who do you think has the best team besides your own?
Man, it's a tough one.
You can't point at
'Cause
yourself.
I think you got her Miles or Jackson, but
He's not even picked.
I don't know. Man,
It is definitely super
I
tough.
don't-
Yeah,
it's tough,
Jackson.
but-
What do you,
I gotta go your team, Miles. Honestly, I mean, your starting five's pretty loaded. I think, like mine. I think like you got Dwayne Wade, LeBron. I mean, those two, such good chemistry together. You just pair so well together, score so well together. Then Luis Scola, Manu Ginobili, man. I mean, those guys were awesome players too in the Olympics. Back in the day on Argentina. And,
Dude, I was gonna say, Miles got the best chemistry in the best chemistry team at least.
Chemistry,
between
it's
LeBron,
really good.
D Wade, Luis
David
Scola, and
Robinson
Ginobili.
fits that team really well. He's a great defender. He could lock down a lot of guys.
Yeah, chemistry's adorable.
I like all of our teams. I like Ben's starting lineup is also very loaded. Like the worst players on here would be Oscar Schmidt, who's the great. Like, dude, I'm gonna share my screen here because this is just unbelievable. Looking at Oscar Schmidt's stats, look at these. Okay, ignore this one, this year, but these 2 seasons. Well, that isn't even the Olympics, but the numbers are unbelievable.
That is kind of disgusting. 42 points.
How tall is he?
Oh boy, we don't know.
Like
But we
6'8"
will.
or 6'9".
Yeah, but I mean, if
Maybe he's not
this
worried.
guy is shooting 13 threes a game at the power forward position at 40%,
Yeah,
this
Timmy's
doesn't
not
even
that
sound like a real player.
I could put Timmy D on him. He's good.
Oh,
I'm gonna
well,
create a
Jackson,
poll.
who do you think has the best team besides yourself?
Honestly, even though his backcourt cannot guard a parked car, I think it might be Joey.
Hey.
Dude, because just
What do you mean my backcourt can't guard a parked car?
exactly.
Well, I mean,
exactly right.
compared to these other backcourts, I mean, you got Patty Mills and Petrovic versus Luka and Michael Jordan, Manu and Dwayne Wade, and Magic and Kobe.
What are you talking about? When it's his time to guard Magic, I'm gonna put Patty at the 4 and have AK-47 guard Magic.
Yeah, Mills
Wait,
guard
put
Tim
Patty
Duncan.
on Tim Duncan.
I'm gonna have Patty guard Tim Duncan.
Hey, Patty knows all Jimmy's tricks from the Spurs practice.
Exactly, inside knowledge.
Someone save me, please.
Oh my god.
Oh, and for coach, Mike Krzyzewski. I get first pick for coach.
You don't get
Mike Krzyzewski.
Oh yeah, I guess if we were doing coaches. Definitely.
Mike Krzyzewski.
Yeah, Coach K. I mean, that definitely would be the
That's
best coach.
adorable.
Well,
Give me LeBron.
guys,
as
in
my
the
coach.
description below, we will also eventually have a poll. I'll make some graphics with these teams, and we will have a poll up. Who do you think has the best team all time for the Olympics? I mean, all these teams are pretty darn good.
Actually, I want my coach to be Coach Cove. I draft him number 1.
Dumb pick.
True.
Stupid.
Hey, the real Coach K.
The real
real
Coach K. Coach
That's a dumb
Cove.
pick, bro. You're not gonna know what
The
to do
real
with Patty Mills on that,
Oh my goodness. Oh, well, you guys have anything else before we get out of here?
Kobe's gonna bully Patty Mills off the court.
Oh my gosh. All I know is Oscar Schmidt is drafting
thank you
40.
so much for. Or what'd you say, Joy?
Oscar Schmidt averaging 40 points against my team.
Dude, I still can't believe
Anybody is, Joe. I think I
But
could.
Ben, thank you so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Ben.
Starting next
Yeah.
episode, we are going to do full team breakdowns for next season. We're going to officially start previewing the next season by going by each division. So definitely stay tuned for that. We'll have a lot of questions to answer for each team. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe for more NBA content. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. We'll catch